Today's episode, I give you my predictions for Penn State versus Notre Dame and Ohio State versus Texas. I'm Stephen Connor, and you're tuning into the Stephen Connor Show. What's going on, everybody? How's everyone out there doing? Welcome back, or welcome to the Stephen Connor Show. I'm your host, Stephen Connor. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Also, hit that post notification bell so you can get notified whenever I upload a video. College football this year has been absolutely insane. We thought that it was one team that was definitely the best team in college football in the regular season, and it was. That team was Oregon. However, the playoffs came around, and now it's a totally different team that we think is the best team in college football. And it's the team that I think is the most complete roster in all of college football. But they had to realize that, and something happened to them. Something happened, and I think it was the Michigan loss that happened to them, and it made them realize that, hey, we're better than this. We need to do better. Let's do better. Let's do better. So this year has just been crazy. It just has been crazy. None of the top four seeds who got a bye, none of them are in the playoff. They're all gone. Georgia's gone. Oregon's gone. Boise State is gone. Arizona State is gone. They're all gone. So we have four teams left, and let's get into predicting who I think will be going to the national championship. By the way, this is just my opinion. This is not factual. This is just what I think. You let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. And let's get started. So we're going to start off with Penn State versus Notre Dame. Penn State beat SMU. I know SMU self-destructed. They whooped SMU, actually. That's what happened. And then they beat Boise State, and they were able to slow down Genty and not let him break the rushing record, get the rushing title, which is hilarious to me. And they outrushed Genty in Boise State. And I thought Genty would be the one who had a great rushing performance, but it's Penn State who has had a good rushing performance. And they've done that not only versus them, but they also did it versus SMU as well. They are pounding the rock. They are really good at it. And the only team who were really able to stop the run this year for Penn State was Ohio State. And so, keeping that in mind, they have a really good run game. Drew Aller can run a little bit. You know, he's not the best, but he can scramble, He can scramble. And then you have one of the best wide receivers in college football on your side. You have the best offensive player in this game on your side as Warren. So you take that into account. And then you have Notre Dame, who beat Indiana and who bullied the bully. They bullied Georgia. Their coach outcoached Kirby Smart, who's one of the best coaches, or the best coach, in my opinion, in college football right now. And you take that all to account, and how they win. They can run up the score on you, but they can also win a low-scoring game. They can win it on special teams. They can win it on defense, and they can win it on offense. But because on offense in the last game, all they did was they just kept they wasn't trying to get any touchdowns. They weren't trying to have any explosive plays. They were just trying to keep the chains moving. Keep trying to get the first down, trying to wear down the clock. That's what they were trying to do. They were trying to wear down the clock. And they just kept the chains moving. Big play after big play. And picking up the first downs. They got stops when they needed to get stops down the field and scored when it was necessary. That's what Notre Dame did. It's so simple. They have a simple recipe. Play good defense and run the ball hard and try to get the first downs. That's what they do. That's what Notre Dame does. And get a couple of takeaways on defense and then take advantage of the takeaways. This is not the same team that lost to NIU earlier in the year. This is not the same team. This is a different team. This is a better team. When they did that, I thought it was over with for them this year. But they proved me wrong. And they went and they finally beat an SEC school. They beat the bully. They bullied the bully. They outsmarted one of the best coaches, the best coach in college football, who outsmarts, who always finds a way to win. They found a way to win. You can say they had a backup quarterback, sure. But if Carson Beck was there, I think the same thing would have happened. I really do. The problem with Notre Dame, though, is they don't have that many wide receivers. They barely have any. They're not that good. Same thing with Penn State, except for Warren. They don't have any weapons. But Penn State has the best offensive player in this game, in Warren, to me. And I think Penn State he's gonna have to have a really good game in order for a Penn State to win, because I do think that run game is gonna get shut down by Notre Dame. I really do believe that. And like I said, I think Notre Dame is going to do what they did to Georgia against Penn State. We'll see if Warren steps to the plate. But if he doesn't, I really believe I have Notre Dame moving on to the national championship game. And I think they're going to win this by being in the trenches. I think they're going to win this by being more physical, by being more dominant, and by out-coaching James Franklin. That's what they're going to do. They're going to get takeaways when needed, score when needed, and they're going to figure out a way to win. And I think that's what they're going to do against Penn State. So my prediction, Notre Dame moving on to college football playoff. Next, we have Texas versus Ohio State. We all remember the last time Texas and Ohio State played each other. I remember that game. I don't remember that game, but I've seen it from 2008. Yeah. So, yeah. But anyway, so we got Texas versus Ohio State in this semifinal matchup. Texas is a really interesting team. They're the only team left from the SEC. However, they didn't play anyone in the SEC for real. I mean, their best win in the SEC this year was Texas A&M. And then they did beat a really good, well, not really good. They did beat a Michigan team who really turned it around at the end of this year, too. So that win is looking better now, too. But Texas I used to call Ohio State all the time the fraudulent Buckeyes. I believe Texas are fraudulent. I really do. Because when they did play a really good opponent, they lost to them twice, and that's Georgia. They lost to them with Carson Beck and without Carson Beck. And you could say that they won the second game because Carson Beck played, but the truth of the matter is they were losing. They were winning when Carson Beck went out. And when Stockton came in, that's when the game went the other way. And they failed to capitalize, and they keep doing this. They failed to capitalize on moments, on plays. They failed to capitalize, they failed to score, they failed to do things. And if that targeting call happened, will Texas be here right now? We will be talking about Arizona State versus Ohio State. And then they got lucky with that fourth down play. They really did. They got lucky with that fourth down play. They let over 500 yards of total offense from Arizona State. And Sikabu, I hope I'm saying his name right. I know I'm not. But he single-handedly dismantled that Texas team. Jeremiah, if he did that to them, imagine what Jeremiah Smith and that receiving corps, Hendrickson, just imagine. They have so many weapons. Ohio State has weapons galore. Imagine what they're going to do to Texas. I mean, I don't think this game is going to be close. I really don't. It might shock me, might be. I might be just overhyping Ohio State and underestimating Texas. But based on what I see, the best win Texas had all year was Arizona State. They shouldn't have won that game. They should have lost to me because of the targeting call. That was not called. We could debate whether or not that was targeting, but I really do think that was targeting. That's what saved you. One player on Arizona State gave you a run for their money. A run for their money. Jeremiah Smith is going to cook you. The other wide receivers are going to cook you. Their run game is going to cook you. I think Ohio State is going to move on in the national championship. We're going to get Notre Dame versus Ohio State. Both of these teams had some pretty insane losses this year. Ohio State lost to Oregon at the beginning of the year, and then Ohio State lost to Michigan. That was the best thing that happened. Notre Dame paid NIU millions of dollars to lose to them. And now both of them have the opportunity to go and are favored to go to the national championship game. So that's my predictions right there. I have Notre Dame versus Ohio State in a national championship game. I think these two are the best two teams left in college football. I really do think it's very possible for Penn State to out-hustle Notre Dame. Don't get me wrong. But Notre Dame the more physical team, the better team than Georgia, and Georgia is the standard for college football right now. And it was a down year for the SEC for Georgia. Sure, you can say yes, but still, at the end of the day, that was very impressive what Notre Dame was able to do. And I just think they're going to continue that momentum against Penn State. And I just think Ohio State is better than Texas, have better weapons, and are the better team and most complete team in the whole college football playoff and in college football in general. You let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section down below. Until next time, be good people. Stephen Counter out.